News on ABC 40.
Shockwaves continue through Western Mass after the stabbing death of a Hampden County Sheriff's Department employee, allegedly at the hands of her boyfriend, a Chicopee firefighter. Welcome to Western Mass News at 4. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Abby Carnevale. Attention is turning to prevention and resources when it comes to domestic violence. And Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lokri joins us live in studio after speaking with the YWCA of Western Mass. Reagan?
Abby and Chris, after reading through the chilling details in the police report from the night Eileen Monahan was murdered, I reached out to the YWCA to get answers on what exactly is out there for victims of domestic violence.
Investigators say 48-year-old Eileen Monahan was allegedly stabbed to death by her boyfriend, 52-year-old Chicopee firefighter Jason Chapdelaine, over the weekend. He has since been placed on unpaid leave and faced a judge in Holyoke Tuesday where he pleaded not guilty to murder and is now being held without the right to bail. Court documents reveal 40 stab wounds were found on Monahan's body. I spoke with the CEO of the YWCA in Springfield, Elizabeth Deneen, and she tells me gruesome cases like this tend to shed a light on domestic violence and send shockwaves through the community. She says since Sunday's murder, their 24-hour hotline has been ringing off the hook.
In this particular situation, this woman was stabbed 40 times. By somebody that she was in a relationship with. So I think it's really important that this issue is constantly in the forefront because in our opinion, this is a public health epidemic.
Based on the police report filed the night Monahan was killed, when officers arrived at 240 South Water Street in Holyoke, they observed a male individual, later identified as Jason Chapdelaine, with a belt tied around his neck. The other end of the belt was tied to the grab handle attached to the A-pillar of the blue pickup truck. Based on this observation, responding officers concluded he tried to hang himself. Also detailed in the report, beneath Chapdelaine, officers observed a white female later identified as Eileen Monahan, who was lying motionless. The documents go on to say that Monahan was covered in an excessive amount of blood, with what appeared to be a laceration on the right side of her mouth. Also noted in the police report, investigators found that Jason Chapdelaine did unlawfully assault Monahan with an intent to kill her with deliberate premeditation and/or extreme atrocity or cruelty with malice, and by such assault did kill Monahan.
The murder of someone else and then trying to kill themselves, we do see that often in the community.
COO of the YWCA, Delilah Cardona, tells Western Mass News that any situation that involves domestic violence can ultimately lead to murder, which is why it's important to get help and take advantage of resources. And Cardona adds that the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship tends to be when the victim tries to leave, which is why the #1 thing they recommend at the YWCA of Western Mass when leaving an abusive partner is to go into the center during walk-in hours and create a safety plan.
If you have to stay in this relationship for some time because you're just not ready, you don't have enough money saved up, or you just don't know what to do, you could come here during walk-in hours. We have someone that's setting everything up and asking you the right questions.
Coming up at 6, I'm looking into the criminal history of the suspect and Chicopee firefighter Jason Chapdelaine, who again is now on unpaid leave. For a link to resources such as the YWCA's 24-hour hotline, head to our website, westernmassnews.com. Just click on the blue as seen on TV button. Reporting live in studio, Reagan Lokri for Western Mass News.
Reagan, thank you.